view the operating and capital budgets for 26 and 27. So those were the items we covered in our meeting. Like I said, so Dennis will provide everyone here tonight an update on the operating budget for the upcoming 2026-2027 year.
Jokes.
Well, based on the first one.
Well, we're Steve, right?
If you've ever been to one of my breakfasts, you'll understand.
Yeah.
We've been to your breakfast.
Yeah.
All of us have.
Yeah.
So the golf outing was good. I was there. Stellar. We got it. So, yeah, there was a good number, but it was hot.
I was gonna ask.
It was a hot. We teed off at noon. And it peaked at around 92, 94 degrees at I think like 2 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
So, but they had a little hydration station on the
Yeah,
move
yeah.
for us. So it was good.
You're a mechanic, right?
Yeah, it was a McCann golf course in the, it was
Oh, okay.
technically the town of Poughkeepsie.
That's the.
Or, yeah,
Alright.
so course was in excellent shape as it always is. So,
Now our presentation is up.
okay.
Thank you. Monthly contact.
Good evening, everyone. Be talking about the 26-27 BCC operating budget.
All right, here we go.
So, talk about enrollment, revenue projections, expense projections, and proposed budget summary. This is the fall head count. As you can see, enrollment we're projected to go up for the 4th year in a row. During the president's report, the board, Scott will give you more detailed analysis of the enrollment. Revenue projections, proposing a 5% tuition price increase, 4% enrollment increase. We're asking the county for a 3% increase. It was flat last year. State operating aid continues to be flat. There's been no increase in operating aid for 5 years in a row. And budget assumes 40% reimbursement for rental aid. This increase is due to the additional space at DCC Fishkill. Let me talk about Fishkill for a minute. There's really 3 parts to the Fishkill budget. One is the operating budget. The operating budget for 26-27 have no impact on the bottom line for the budget for 26-27. The operating budget consists of the expenses at Fishkill, the rent, some instructional costs, some utility costs. It's paid for by the tuition revenue, the enrollment, and if you recall, we had a $2 million grant from OSWD over 3 years operating grant. That'll make up that difference as well. So it's break even for Fishkill for the operating side. 26-27. The second part of the budget is furniture and equipment. Again, we have grants to cover those. $973,000 from the county and the state, $500,000 from FF&E, which is the county and the state. Another $3 million ESD, Empire State Development Grant. So about $4.5 million worth of equipment grants, furniture, that'll pay for that. Then the last piece is the build out of the space. You recall it's a lease space. The landlord is building out the space at an approximate cost of $8 to $10 million. So a landlord would build a company space. But again, the operating budget for fish bill breaking 26, 27 has no impact on the bottom line of this budget that's proposed. Chargeback revenue is up slightly. Technology and course fees are up about $1.5 million. Many of the fees have not been increased since 2009. Other revenue is up 607,000, led by an increase in interest income. There's also additional rental income, health fee income, etc. Credit-free revenue has remained fairly consistent, but it's trending upward. This is a chart of the revenues. As you can see, state aid and sponsor contribution is less than 50% of the revenue budget. The other budgets continue to increase over time, or dependent on tuition and other fees. This is the proposed revenue. As you can see in tuition, a significant increase of $2.5 million. This is the 5% tuition price increase and the 4% enrollment increase. Some increase in chargeback. The sponsor contribution, $523,000. That is not yet approved by the county. But that's what we're proposing when we meet with the county in June. State aid, $470,000. That's the increase in rental aid. That is not any increase in operating. Operating aid is flat for 5 years in a row. And then other income is up significantly, and that's the course fees and additional fees and income. This is a nice chart that shows our proposed tuition increase. As you can see, we continue to be the lowest in our region for tuition. We will continue to be the lowest as other community colleges in our area continue to increase the price of tuition as well. Expenses. Salaries are up about 5.72 increase over the prior year. I'll talk about the budgeted comparison, as this reflects 2 years of salary increases, because if you recall, we submitted the budget last year. We didn't have any salary increases in the budget. There was contract negotiations going on at that time. Benefits are up. Increase in health and dental insurance, increase in retirement. Contractual was up over last year. There is some increase in rental costs, as I mentioned, at Fishkill. Inflationary increases for supplies, increase in costs for state mandated interpreter services. We have a reduction of legal fees. We've eliminated a software contract, Elevate. We negotiated some savings with the internet contracts, and we budgeted some increase in utility costs around $100,000 for that. So when we look at the expense budget, again, this is 2 years worth of salary increases. So at 9/1/25, there was an increase in salary. 9/1/26, there'll be another increase in salary. It's not up as high as it could be because we took out many vacancies out of this budget. There was vacancies in IT, security, facilities, and in other areas that are coming out of this budget. Benefit costs are up, equipment and contractual. So this is the proposed budget summary for 26-27. This ties into all the numbers that were presented earlier. We have a budget gap of $3.5 billion, 26-27. That's our proposed budget. We've shown this chart before the April board meeting. Just want to revisit it. 25-26, our original budget was, we had a $3.8 million gap. After salary increases for all groups, or all employees at the college were in, project a gap of $5.9 million for this year, 25-26. We may do better than that because we have eliminated those vacancies, as I mentioned, so we may come in under that number of $5.9 million. When we did the first draft of the budget for 26-27, we had a gap of $9 million, which is unsustainable. So we had the board retreat in February, we talked about a plan to balance the budget, and we need to come up with a revenue generation and expense reduction plan. So we started looking at ways where we can reduce costs or generate additional revenues. Most vacancies were eliminated, it was non-salary reductions. We've been holding positions, so when a position comes up vacant, we've been holding it for 3 to 6 months in most cases. Not all, there's some areas that could be one-person departments, some areas that must be filled immediately. But we have been holding positions ever since the board retreat February. County contribution, again, that's in budget at 500,000. We expect some increase in summer enrollment. We can pick up another 100,000, and the course fee increase, bring in another $1 million. That gets us down to $3.5 million gap. We don't think we can balance the budget in 1 year, and we think this is a reasonable approach going forward. Talk a little bit about fund balance. Fund balance at the end of 25 is approximately $20 million. End of 27, we project it will be around $10 million. This is concerning. The fund balance is cut in half in 2 years, up from 20 million to 10. That's our proposed budget for 26, 27. Thank you. Is there any questions on the budget? Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you, Dennis. We've been having presentations monthly, not only for us, but the legislature, the committees, so you've done a great job. Seeing that we already gave our liaison reports, we can now move directly into our board meeting. Joya, can you call the meeting to order? I'm sorry, it's too obvious. I'm calling the meeting to order. Joya,
Do it if you
call
want.
the roll. Landing your roll.
I'll take, roll. Mr. Frank Costello,
Present.
Mr. Stephen Caswell,
Present.
Ms. Dara Clapp,
Here.
Mr. Michael Dupree,
Present.
Miss Angela Fleslin,
Present.
Miss Lisa Gardy, Mr. Ibis Guzman,
Present.
Mr. Michael McCormick, Miss Linda Pratt,
Here.
Mr. Ryan Shuck,
Here.
quorum present.
All right. Have our pledge of allegiance. Brian, can you lead us for your last meeting?
Pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And have a motion to approve the agenda as published.
So moved.
Second.
Any corrections? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We have 3 people that have signed up for public comment tonight. As a reminder, it is limited to 3 minutes each. We will start with Laura Murphy. When you have 30 seconds remaining, I'll just hold my hand up.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Laura Murphy, Duke President, Professor of History, speaking about Resolution 50. The budget is based on flawed assumptions and destructive expense reduction proposals, including having a majority of DCC classes taught by underpaid part-time faculty in precarious positions, raising class sizes, and discontinuing programs. We've also received mixed messages about whether the college plans to keep open the Family Partnership Center after fall 2027, despite FPC being a critically important part of DCC's connection to our local community. I'm struck by the college's very different attitude towards the importance of buildings and facilities on the one hand and educators on the other. At the county legislature meeting on May 11th, during the presentation on the campus transformation plan, the college argued that we need to invest in updating facilities in order to compete for students. But somehow we don't need to invest in the people who do the central work of DCC's mission. The budget cuts fail to acknowledge that what our student commencement speaker said on Friday, quote, "Education is not about prestige, it's about people." The student speaker, end quote. The student speaker spoke compellingly of the importance of having classes of about 20, in which professors were able to, quote, invest in each of us individually, end quote, and said that not everyone gets the opportunity to study at a place, quote, surrounded by people and professors who care as deeply as the ones at Dutchess, end quote. These budget proposals that disregard the importance of the people who educate our students would make DCC a worse place to work and learn. The college has already canceled several full-time tenure-track faculty searches with interviews already conducted, which, in addition to depriving students of these faculty, also damages DCC's reputation, making it more difficult to attract future candidates. Meanwhile, the college has continued to create new management positions, hire consultants, including a $50,000 consultant to provide leadership training to help, and spends $50,000 a year on new phones that, in my view, don't work very well. Also, while the due and CSEA salaries were mentioned in the various budget presentations, the board also increased management compensation, including a 10% annual retention bonus for one person and raises for several others that were far higher than the due and CSEA members received. The central flawed budget assumption is the claim that we have, quote, high instructional costs, because instruction costs were allegedly 48% of our budget in 2023-2024. This data fails to take into account the varied cost of living throughout the state, and also seems to be based on a misunderstanding about the relationship between enrollment increases and instructional salaries. Devoting a higher proportion of the budget to instruction is generally seen as a mark of effectiveness and efficiency by those who understand that, as our student speaker so wisely said, education is about people. Thank you.
Next is Lindsay Gott.
Hello, I'm actually sharing a statement from Leah Atomisi could not be here tonight. Last time I addressed the Board of Trustees was on December 9th, 2025. At that time, I expressed my support for the approval of the MOA negotiated between DU and the college for the replacement contract covering the part-time faculty and staff. However, most of my address concerned my profound disappointment in the board for refusing to take even the smallest step towards pay equity for part-time faculty. And now the board is being asked to consider a budget that includes a shift from the teaching burden of 60% of the DCC courses taught by full-time faculty to 60% taught by the precarious and underpaid part-time faculty. This tells me that there were leaders in the room in December that knew full well that this was in the works. That's shameful, and I agree. The lack of respect and understanding for the work of faculty in general and part-time faculty in particular is more than discouraging, since you are all in the position to learn more about the work, to invite faculty into the conversations and decision-making. I'm saddened to say that there is much lip service given to the work of our outstanding faculty, but the evidence that it goes deeper than that is lacking. In contrast, our student speaker at commencement, Dudun Tenzin, made faculty feel seen and heard and respected, and it's central to the college's mission. She identified faculty from across the spectrum of disciplines, and she was one of my students too. Both part-time and full-time. Did she know that one of those faculty members she references was part-time? Maybe, maybe not. In the classroom, the work looks the same to the student. She also did a remarkable job of getting the audience to feel deep in the gut the challenges faced by so many community college students and connected that to the educational experience at DCC versus four-year schools. That experience is a reality because of the extraordinary effort put in by our faculty and staff. Faculty spend many hours with students each semester, and the students directly experience the fruits of that labor. Yet what the students see and experience is still a fraction of the labor invested in them. But now the college is looking to invest less in the amazing humans that make the educational experience at DCC, which we heard celebrated at graduation last week, and yet are willing to keep spending more on upper management, people who spend very little time with the students. And the college is looking to invest more on students in niche programs, rather than investing in the futures of the vast majority of students looking to change their lives at DCC. The college is acknowledging the cheap labor of part-time faculty by what's being proposed within the budget. Well, I suggest don't just sit there. Listen to the message to the speakers and to take it to heart. Protect the future of the institution by investing wisely in its most valuable asset, the people. The faculty, the staff. Investment in faculty and staff is investment in our students. Faculty and staff learning conditions are student learning conditions.
And last is Melanie Klein.
The budget being considered tonight is guided by the broad austerity measures outlined by the board in the revenue generation and expense reduction plan, to include the goal of removing the percentage of courses taught by part-time faculty from about 40% to 60%. There are significant logistical, ethical, and academic concerns with that goal. For the past couple of years in my discipline, English, we've had 22 to 23 part-time faculty each fall, nearly as many each spring. The part-time supervisor and department chair spend a great deal of time working on hiring new part-time faculty. They've hired 10 in the past 2 years, of which 4 have already left the college, and they're still looking for more to cover our needs for fall. In addition, 4 long-serving part-time faculty have left the college over the past 2 years. Of the part-time faculty we are fortunate to have with us, 3, 4, or even more people have been assigned 4 or more courses each fall. In our discipline, that is essentially a full-time teaching load. There are serious problems with this situation right now, status quo. First, it is exploitative on the face of it to have people working the equivalent of a full-time teaching load without full-time benefits and without the pay per course earned by a full-time instructor for the same work. And for the remaining part-time instructors teaching less than full-time, the numbers clearly reflect the poor conditions of part-time teaching and the high turnover that results. Then there is the persistent difficulty of finding new qualified part-time instructors. We've largely depleted the surrounding area of people qualified and willing to teach here. A similar situation exists in other disciplines where full-time faculty who do not wish to teach overload are routinely asked to do so, as no part-time faculty can be found who are able to teach some courses. A situation that is seriously problematic right now would only become much worse with the proposed radical expansion of reliance on part-time labor. DCC's part-time faculty are excellent instructors, deeply dedicated to our students. They make vital contributions to the college, and I learn from them regularly. But there are human costs and academic costs to the cheaper labor of part-time faculty. People who are rushing to get to their other jobs are stressed by the need to piece together a living, by lack of stability, by lack of health insurance. People working under these conditions are not able to give students as much time and focus as they want to, nor to form the valuable mentoring relationships with students they would like to. They are not able to spend as much time on campus to be as involved as they would if they could. They do not have the time or mental space to develop and update their teaching as much as they want to. Studies have shown that an over-reliance on the labor of part-time faculty has a negative impact on student retention, and it's not hard to figure out why. I understand the enchanting attraction for the board, a greater percentage of our courses being taught by part-time faculty, but it must be seen, I ask that it be seen, as the ill-advised recommendation it is. It's a bad idea from an academic standpoint, bad from a human standpoint, and from a logistical standpoint, it is magical thinking. Thank you.
Moving on to our next agenda item, consideration of the minutes from April 28th. Everyone try to, thank you. Second,
Second.
any corrections? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There, moving on to our committee reports, academic and student affairs.
We met just last week and Scott Schnackenberg provided the committee with updates on enrollment, student housing, and the daycare expansion project. Dr. Raymond Houston updated the committee on part-time faculty promotions for the 2026-27 academic year, new faculty hires, and the status of the promotion and tenure handbook. Scott Schnackenberg provided an update on SUNY Reconnect and the program capacity. And Dr. Houston shared updates regarding the Center of Excellence for Arts and Performance Excellence, the Center of Excellence for Nursing and Allied Health, and the status of the college's branch campus application. The committee was reminded of upcoming events.
Board policy, Mr. Guzman.
We met on last week as well on May 12th. Dr. Susan Rogers provided an overview of the newly adopted SUNY system-wide artificial intelligence policy that was approved by the SUNY Board of Trustees. She noted that the college's existing AI policy is currently undergoing further review by the AI committee, and it is being evaluated alongside of the SUNY policy to ensure full alignment with the system-wide standards. Upon completion of this process, the revised policy will be presented to the board policy committee before being advanced for formal approval. And we also were updated on all of those important dates and reminders, yeah.
Finance and facilities, Mr. Caswell, I know that you've already given your update, if you wanna go on to your resolution.
Right, we gave the updates during the workshop, and I have 4 resolutions here tonight. The first resolution, number 2026-50. I offer the following resolution and move its adoption. Be it resolved that the operating budget for Dutchess Community College for the fiscal year September 1, 2026 through August 31, 2027, in the amount of $76,820,038 with anticipated funding from the County of Dutchess by appropriation from fiscal year 2027 of $17,990,113 is hereby approved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution carries.
Resolution number 2026-51. I offer the following resolution and move its adoption. Be it resolved that the tuition and fee schedule and the refund policy for fiscal year 2026 through 2027, which is attached and shall be made part of the official minutes of this meeting, are hereby approved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Resolution carries.
All right, resolution number 2026-52. I offer the following resolution and move its adoption. Be it resolved that the identified Rico printers and copiers are hereby declared surplus property and are authorized for disposal in accordance with this resolution and applicable college policies. And be it further resolved that the Information Technology Department and Finance Department are authorized to determine the most appropriate method of disposal on a case-by-case basis, including direct sale to members of the college community, faculty or staff, and or local community at fair market value or best final offer, or public auction, including online auction platforms to achieve competitive pricing, or bulk sales and or liquidation where appropriate. And be it further resolved that the board of, I know, I got it, this is a long one. Be it further resolved that the Board of Trustees declares the attached list of Rico printers and copiers, which shall be made part of the official minutes of this meeting, obsolete and surplus to the needs of Dutchess Community College. And be it further resolved that the college is hereby authorized to dispose of said equipment in a manner consistent with law and or regulation.
Thank you for the second, Mr. Casella. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Resolution carries. Final resolution.
Yes. Resolution number 2026-53. I offer the following resolution and move its adoption. Be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of Dutchess Community College Association hereby approve the award of the association. Right. Let me strike that.
Yeah.
The Board of Trustees of Dutchess Community College hereby approve the award of a contract to Securitas Security Services USA Incorporated for security services in accordance with RFP 13-2026 for an initial 3-year term. And be it further resolved that expenditures under this contract shall be based on actual services provided and shall be subject to available appropriations. And be it further resolved that the president of the college and or his designee is hereby authorized to execute any documents and take any actions necessary to effectuate this resolution.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Fair enough. Did you give your update on personnel committee? I can't
Yes,
remember.
executive session.
That was what I thought, so, all right.
So our committee met earlier today at 5 o'clock. We first welcomed the addition of 5 new individuals, with 5 individuals. Assistant Director of Admissions, 3 new instructors. We're also very happy and delighted to say that Anna Paro will be going from interim or acting Associate Vice President for Institutional Advancement to Associate Vice President for Institutional Advancement. We also discussed legal updates and we had an update on labor management issues. That was it.
Report of our student trustee.
Alright, guys, it's a long one this time.
It's your farewell, it should be.
Exactly.
Good evening, everyone. As I give my final report as student trustee, I spent a lot of time reflecting on what these last 2 years have really meant to me. When I came back to college after nearly a decade away from school, I never imagined one day be sitting at a table representing thousands of students. I came here looking for a sense of purpose and community, and somewhere along the way, DCC gave me both, along with a degree. Over the last 2 years, I saw a campus community that genuinely cared about each other. I watched students balance academics, work, finances, family responsibilities, and mental health struggles, all while continuing to show up for themselves and for one another. I watched students grow into leaders and find confidence through clubs, student government, athletics, volunteering, and overall just campus involvement. I also want to acknowledge faculty and staff who truly invest in students beyond the classroom. Professors like Dr. Margot Littman, Tim Wellings, and the whole criminal justice department consistently push students to their best, to use their voices, to think critically, and to engage with the world around them. Mentors like that leave a lasting impact on students trying to find their place in the world. As a student, some of the biggest concerns I consistently heard involve affordability and accessibility. Food prices on campus remain a major concern for many students, and respectfully, I think the college should continue exploring ways to provide for more affordable options moving forward. We also need to implement some form of electronic payment system for student activities. Many commuters and students at many students and commuters at locations like DCC Fishkill are unintentionally excluded from opportunities simply because they aren't physically on the main campus during these office hours. Remember, accessibility matters. And I may be a little biased as a criminal justice major, but I honestly believe the criminal justice program could benefit from additional investment in hands-on learning opportunities, including possible simulation for a lab space for students entering careers in public safety and investigations. I also want to acknowledge the implementation of a new student engagement platform, campus groups ready engagement. I truly believe that this is the potential to strengthen communication, involvement, and student connection across the campus. That all being said, serving as student trustee has genuinely been one of the greatest honors of my life. It gave me the opportunity to advocate for students not only here on campus, but across New York State and even in Washington, D.C. More importantly, it taught me the importance of speaking up for people who feel unheard. To the students coming after me, get involved, ask those questions, take chances, get those reserved parking spots. You never really know where an opportunity could be. Thank you to everyone who listened, supported me, challenged me, and helped me grow over these last 2 years. I'm proud of what we accomplished together, and I'm hopeful for what this college is going to.
We are so proud of you. You have been such a wonderful part of our board for the last year. As I was explaining to Keegan before, like, you have the same vote that any of us have. And I think that you were such a wonderful liaison between the students and our board, and kind of watching you grow in this role has been, I think, really rewarding for all of us. I know that you are going to go on to do great things. I have no doubt about it. And we look forward to you staying involved in your alma mater. So moving on to my report. I was so pleased to join our campus community last week. You made me like teary too. At several of our graduation related events, and so nice to see so many of you in the room at those as well. Honors convocation was very well attended. So nice to see so many scholarships and so many new scholarships this year as well. Steve and Dara joined me at that. Later that day, we had the nursing pinning ceremony, which was always a wonderful time. And again, so nice to see so many of our faculty and staff there as well, although Dana's face at one point was priceless, as I said to her. And then the following day, Dara and Ebis and I had the opportunity to join our end of semester barbecue, which was incredibly well attended. I was like shocked, to be honest with you. I walked in, I was like, you know, how many students are really gonna come to an end of semester barbecue? I was like, it was a nice night. And I walked in and the room was filled. And what was so nice is that it wasn't just students, it was students and their families. And everyone was just so appreciative of their time at DCC, and it was so nice to see the diversity on our college campus. Which
And the
then,
food was fabulous.
yes, it looked it. I'm sorry, I have a phobia against buffets.
Oh, it was buffet.
It was, you know, it was the germophobic camp. We had ice creams that we handed out. Joya is hiding her face right now. Because she knows that I plan on upping the ante next year. And if I have to pay for it myself, I will do that. I would like an ice cream truck. Don't we think that our students would like an ice cream truck more than the little ice creams? I think they would. Joya does not.
I did not say that. I did not say that.
Joya.
Under the ice.
Oh, Joya is killing my ice cream idea. Our students will love it. Graduation was wonderful. Thank you, Dara, Steve, Michael, Ebis, Linda, and Ryan for joining us for that. It was the first graduation that the vice chancellor has attended in her role. She sent me a really, really nice message on Saturday talking about how you could see what a special place Dutchess is. And I know that we certainly all feel that way. So to every person in this room watching who had any role in any of those events, and certainly that includes those of you who helped your students get to that point, we certainly thank you and recognize that it's not always easy, that, you know, you probably had those students that you really had to push along the way. And one thing that struck me as I was standing on stage was those people behind me. So many of our faculty and staff were there cheering so loudly for your students. And you could hear it and you were like, yeah. And Stephen Posada, I think like every other student is like, yeah, go Jenny, go this person. And I mean, it was just like, you don't hear that at most college graduations. And I think it continues to show the unique place that Dutchess is, and certainly a place that we are all proud to be part of. The final bit of news this evening relates to one of our own. So on Tuesday, if I wasn't already like crying for Ryan's, now I really will be. So on Tuesday, Joya is going for her kidney transplant. So we certainly wish her all the best. I will get updates from her family that I will then kind of share with you guys. And obviously anything we can do to help support you along the way, whether it's cooking you very well done steak, any of these other things that you have to, Joya's in denial of this, but you have to really change your diet when you receive a transplant and have like all well-cooked vegetables and meats and all of these things that I remind her of quite frequently, because she just gets education everywhere. So we obviously are incredibly thankful for her donor. And I think something that's special about our board going into next year is that Keegan actually donated a kidney to one of his friends as well. So when we were kind of talking before this, you know, they were just kind of talking about the hospital and their kind of shared experiences. So I think that it presents a really unique opportunity for our college campus next year to have a greater partnership with Live on New York to really bring that awareness to living donation and organ donation in general. So while Joya is out for the next couple of months, taking it easy, which is not a skill of hers, Maureen Byram is going to be filling in for her. So if anyone on the board is looking for anything from Joya, please direct it to Maureen. So anything we can do for you, you are going to let us know. And we look forward to supporting you and your family throughout this. And we are so happy for you, and we know that you are gonna come through it great. Thank you. Okay, I've cried enough. Onto the president.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So first up, as Dennis promised you, Scott is gonna provide an enrollment update.
Good evening. So as of this morning, we had 2,026 students already registered for fall. That's 166 more than last year at this time. However, there's also a nursing cohort that has not yet enrolled this year. That was enrolled last year. So we're really around 225 students above where we were last year, which is a 12% increase point. We've had a history over the past few years of getting way ahead early and then slowing down as the summer went on. So I anticipate there'll be some of that, but we're still in really good shape based on where we are today. The big impact right now is coming from new students. We have 487 versus 349 at this point last year. So we're really having a lot of success bringing in those students and bringing them in and getting them registered early. There are 30 students in the new healthcare science degree. There are 25 students already enrolled in the HVAC degree. So those new programs are already showing benefit in terms of enrollment. Programs with the biggest increases are mental health assistant, which is up 33, and medical lab tech, which is up 25. That medical lab tech increase will not be sustained because it will be capped at what we can build in that program. The mental health assistant, on the other hand, is a place where we have to grow. I expect to see several years of growth because it's reconnect eligible. Applications for the fall are up 22% with a little over 4,000. More importantly, our local DCC applications are up 12%, or about 300 more than we had last year at this time. The overall application number, as I've mentioned several times, is inflated by SUNY applications. Very few of those students come. The applications from the local high schools are roughly flat. We're not seeing the enrollment cliff we've been talking about. However, our applications from students outside Dutchess County and from adults are up significantly, so that those are the populations where is coming. Summer classes start tomorrow, and we have over 1,500 students and over 9,000 credits. We're running about nearly 400 credits more than we did last year at this time. Summer is budgeted below what we did last year, so we have a chance to have some more increased revenue than what was budgeted for. So that can help a little bit into this year's gap. It's not going to be huge, but it should help a bit in that 5.9 million that Dennis mentioned earlier. And finally, in the residence hall, we have 118 committed students for next fall compared to 112 this year last time. So we're hoping for another increase there. In addition, we have 35 IBM interns who will be joining us in about 10 days this summer. The bulk of those students are taking single rooms, which are significantly more expensive. We'll probably bring in $150,000 to the association, which is another piece making it even stronger. We're just about to go to a new bond issuance. We'll have to worry about it for 5 years. So that has turned around completely in 2 years. Any questions?
Good news. Questions for Scott?
Thank you, Scott. So I want to invite all of you to read my end of year message to the college community. I'm not going to repeat what's in it, so you're going to have to read it. But I just want to say, adding to our chair's thank you. Thanks to all of you for your ongoing commitment to our mission and your support for students and community as well. And yes, commencement was the bomb. I also want to share that on May 5th, we had a visit with Commissioner Demaya Harris Madden, who's Commissioner of the Office of Children and Family Services. She was here to talk to us about a proposal that we put forward for a partnership to help serve more of New York State's foster care alum individuals who have aged out of foster care without the kinds of skills that they can acquire through post-secondary education, by providing them not only with an education, but through our housing program, access to year-round housing as well. And so they're excited about that opportunity and have invited us to join in an MOU with them to launch that program. So we're excited about that. Tomorrow, we will have a somewhat virtual groundbreaking for Kobe at Fishkill. The event, we hope to be able to share wildly important and notable announcement by ESD, Empire State Development, as well. So we encourage as many of you who can make it there to come join us as well. So that does it this evening for my report, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. Any other business?
I have a very quick one. Legislator Lawler, I want to make sure that we extend our thanks to the legislators who came to the commencement, because Vice Chancellor Dent next day said, "Do you have legislators supporting, coming to your graduation?" I went, "Yes, what do you mean?" She said, "We don't see that very often." So thank you.
And you stayed through the whole thing.
Yep.
I noticed. So I was like, so there, I was like. Any other business here? Okay, so our next meeting will be July 28th.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you very much.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, stay cool, everybody.
You're gonna run? You're gonna run?